Namaskar, Sat Shri Akal, Adab, and hello friends. My name is Surjit and you're watching Universal Pahaji. Today we are starting with our first Excel training session, and this would be chapter 1. In this particular Excel session, we will be discussing very simple formulas and functions. As you know, whenever you learn something new, you always start with the simple things. In the similar fashion, what we will do, we will start with the simple formulas that we use day in and day out. Trust me guys, I'm using Excel for last say 7 odd years, but till date, I use these simple formulas with combination with other formulas to make complex formulas. So these are very basic formulas and for beginners. So if you have any kid at home, trust me, this session gonna be very helpful for them. Reason being, Excel is a kind of platform which helps in various ways, and nowadays whenever you are going for a job, Excel is the minimal requirement out there. So let's start today's topic, chapter 1, Excel training. Alright, so you can see the first screen that says Excel Made Easy, a try by me, your Universal Paji. My name is Surajit. So today we would be discussing 7 basic Excel formulas for our daily use. This slide also shows advanced Excel formulas. However, as I want to keep it simple for the first time so that everyone can easily understand it, so advanced Excel formulas would be covered in the next session or the next video. We'll be discussing 7 basic Excel formulas for our daily use, and then we will make these formulas advanced Excel formulas by using simple tips and tricks. So let's begin our journey for 7 basic Excel formulas for our daily use. The first one is sum. As the name suggests, that it helps in addition of numbers. Yes, it's a mathematical function, or you can say formula, which helps in the addition of various numbers. So let me give you an example using my Excel here. So what I have done, say I have 2 students in my class named Peter and Scott. So these are the names that came in my mind and I use them. So simple, so it's not related to anyone out there. So for example, they are in one class, and the subject that they are going through are maths and English, and let's say one more subject, that is science. Now let me write total here, okay, and for the ease, let me middle the text so that everyone can see. Alright, so out of 100, Peter received say 70 marks in maths and Scott 80 marks. Scott is intelligent, it seems so. In English, Peter scored 95 and Scott did 75. Great. And in science, Peter scored say 58 and Scott was at 98. Wow, good numbers. So if I want to sum, if I want to add Peter's number, that what was the total of Peter's number, so how I will start? Any formula, when you start, you use the is equal to sign in a cell, okay? So I wrote is equal to sign here. So as we are talking about the formula sum, I wrote sum bracket start, because the format of sum formula is that is equal to the word sum bracket start. Now in this bracket we have to provide the numbers for which I want to make the addition. So let me select this number first, okay? So I can drag it through from column L to column N, because these are the scores for Peter for maths, English and science. Now I will close the bracket. This is the complete formula that I'm telling the Excel to sum the numbers from column L7 to column N7. Okay, so once I press enter, it give me the total of 223. So if you calculate 70 plus 95 plus 58 gives you the total of 223. In similar way, what I will do, I can also use the shortcut that is Control D, okay, to get the same output. What Control D does, it simply copies the formula from above cell to the cell that you are working in. Or what I can do, let me write 253 here for my reference, and let me delete this 253. So as we know, we have to start with is equal to sign, write the formula sum, start the bracket, and now I have to select those numbers which I want to make the addition. So here, bracket close. So here what I'm telling the Excel that I want to sum from L8 to N8. These are the cells that I want to make the addition. So once I click enter, you can see bingo, 253 is the answer. So if you manually calculate the numbers, 80 plus 95 plus 98 would be 253. So this is the simple way of addition of any numbers out there. So is equal to sum, start the bracket, and then you have to provide the range of the numbers that you want to sum, close the bracket, and then just press enter. Alright, so I use this sum using horizontal columns. However, you can also use some formula using the vertical columns. Let me show you an example. If I write 70, 80 and 30 here, and if I want sum in this particular cell, so what I will do is equal to, as I mentioned earlier, write the formula sum, start the bracket, select the number or the range for which I want to make the addition. So I'm telling the Excel that I want to sum for the numbers available from R10 to R12, close the bracket and press enter. So you can see that it adds the number in horizontal as well as vertical columns or rows. Let's move to the second formula, which says average. So as the name suggests, average, what it helps in finding the average of the numbers, okay, or the range that you provide. So let me show you by taking an example. For example, I have taken the total or the sum of all the numbers scored by Peter using the sum formula earlier. Now what I want the average of his numbers. So what was the average? So what I will do, I will write is equal to in this cell, write the formula average, start the bracket. I want the average for his numbers scored in maths, English and science, and close the bracket and press enter. So his average score was 74.33. Similarly, if I want to find the average of numbers scored by Scott, so what I will do, I will write is equal to, write the formula average, start the bracket. Now direct the Excel to the numbers for which I want to calculate the average, close the bracket. So I'm telling the Excel that I want the average of the numbers present from L8 to N8. Press the enter. So we can see the average score for Scott were 84.33. So we can see that average score for Scott were more than Peter. So we can easily find the average using the average formula. Okay, let me write it sum here. And average here. So let me write it here. Okay, and so similar way, the way we did it earlier, we can also find average on horizontal or say vertical rows or columns. So if I want to find the average of these three numbers, 70, 80 and 30, what I will do, I will write is equal to average, start the bracket, tell the Excel that I want to get the average of these three numbers. Those are from R10 till R12, and if I press the enter, so the average of these three number comes out to be 60. So you can use it in horizontal or vertical ways, both. Let's move to the next formula, that is count. Okay, so what exactly count does, it's a function that counts all the cells in a given range and that contains the numerical numbers. Let me show you by an example. For example, for these numbers itself, what I want to do, I want to count the numbers. I will write is equal to, the way we did earlier. Write the formula count, start the bracket, select it from here, and I will tell the Excel that I want to count the numbers from K7 till P7. So if you will notice, the numbers are only available in 5 cells and one cell contains the name, that is Peter. So let's see what the count will display, what this formula will display. If I press enter, so you can see it did not count the alphabet numbers, I mean alphabets. Okay, so now what we will do, in similar way, what we will do, we will write is equal to count, start the bracket. Let me show you that it also works this way. From this array, so what I have done, I have requested the Excel to count from K6 till P8. So now you can see that I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. 10 cells contain only numbers. Others 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 cells have alphabets in it, or you can say word, and one cell is here which is blank. As you can see that this particular cell is blank. So let me see what the count formula will give me the output. If I press enter, it tells me that only 10 numbers are present in the desired range. I can also see that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 10 numbers are present in this array. So what we concluded, that count only count the numbers, the mathematical numbers. It does not count the alphabets or any blank space available or blank cell available in the range given. Let's move to the next formula. Let's see what we have. Alright, so we have covered count. The next one is count A, or you can also say Counta. So what exactly is Counta? Let me give you an example and let me show you how it works. Earlier we discussed that count formula will only calculate or count the numbers. Okay, it will not count the alphabet or any blank space that is available. So to overcome this, if I also want to count the alphabets or words in particular range, I will take the help from Counta. Okay, so let me write is equal to Counta, or you can say count A, start the bracket. Let me start the simple one from here to here, the way we did it earlier. Earlier we used the count, but now we are using Counta, so we will see the difference here. So what I'm telling Excel, that I want to check from K7 till P7 that how many numbers or alphabets are present. So let me press enter. So you see the difference. The answer is 6. Earlier the answer was 5 because only 5 numbers are there. However, when I use Counta, it also counted alphabet or word that was present. Okay, let me see another thing. The way we did it earlier, we will do it in a same fashion. Let me write Counta. I'm telling the Excel that I want to count numbers and alphabets in the desired range, that is K6 till P8. If you see this range, you will observe that there is one blank cell here, this one, right? So let us see whether this blank cell is calculated or counted or not. Okay, so the answer should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. 17 should be the answer. Yes, I was correct. So why 17? 6 from here, 6 from here, that is 12, and 5 from here. So what we concluded, that when we use counter, it counts numbers as well as the alphabets or the words present in those cells. However, it does not, I repeat, it does not count the empty cell or the blank cell that was available. Alright, so if I want to count how many blank cells are available in the desired range, so I have another formula is equal to count blank. So it's self-explanatory, which says that I want to count how many blank cells are available. So I have written here count, start the bracket. From here till here, as you can see, what I'm asking Excel, I'm requesting Excel to count the blank cells or the empty cells from K6 till P8. So as you can see that only one black cell is available, that is K6. Let me see if the answer comes to be 1 or not. If I press enter, alright, so it's calculating the blank cells that are available in the given or the desired range. Alright, let's move to the next formula. Let's see what we have. The if function or the if formula. If basically is used for comparison or for the logical reasoning, and the best part of the if formula is that you can embed formulas and functions in it so that you can make it more complex. But as we are discussing the simpler things here, so we will keep it simple today. Alright, let me show you an example that how if works. So before I start if, I want to discuss the format of it. Okay, so when I write is equal to if starts the bracket, you can see in the help section it's saying first one is logical test, second says value if true, and the next section says value if false. So as it states that it will do the logical test and it will give you the answer as per the value is true or false. So let me give you one simple example that I want to check whether marks or score for Peter were greater than or more than scores scored by Scott or not. So what I will do, I will write is equal to, let me start from scratch, if start. Now it's asking for me the logical test. So what I want to do, I want to check if this cell is greater than this, then it will say Peter scored more. If not, obviously Scott scored more. So what I will say, Scott scored more, close the bracket. So as you can see, what I have done, I have requested Excel that if the value in L7, that is scores for Peter, is greater than L8, that is scores for Scott for maths, then if L7 is greater than L8, then display Peter scored more. Otherwise, if this condition is not true, then give me the output that Scott scored more. Let me see what would be the answer, because I want to hit enter now. Alright, so as we can see that it did the comparison, and we can see that Scott scored 80 and Peter were at 70. So obviously Scott scored higher than Peter. So it gave me the answer that score for maths scored by Scott were greater than Peter. Alright, let me give you one more example how to use if. Okay, is equal to if bracket start. Now start with a logical test. If this is smaller than this, then give me the output Scott inverted commas off, comma. Otherwise, give me the answer Peter. Alright, so now what I will do, I will copy this, paste it here, and paste it here, and paste it here also. Alright, so you can see that in these two numbers 80 were greater than 70, so Scott name appeared. Here 95 is greater than 75, so Peter appeared. Here marks or score for Scott for greater than Peter, 98 is greater than 58, so Scott appeared. And the final result, the total of all the numbers 253 were greater than 223, so here the Scott name appeared. Alright, so let me repeat it again. If L7, that is scores by Peter, is less than L8, that scores by Scott, then write Scott were at higher place. Otherwise, if this condition is false, then give me the answer Peter. So you can easily see that if can be used while doing the comparison or the logical reasoning. So far we have completed 5 formulas, and let's see the last 2 formulas we left in our PPT. Alright, so the 6th one is the formula or the function trim. So what exactly trim does, let me show you by an example. That trim is basically used to remove the spaces that are in between or before or after a certain text. For example, let me show you that I write Peter space Scott. Alright, and here let me write space Peter Scott space. Here let me write Peter 1 space, Scott 2 spaces. Alright, so in these 3 cells I have given extra space in between, and after that here I have given extra space before starting, and here I have given extra space after the word that I have entered. Okay, so it looks very bad obviously, and even if when you will use other formulas like VLOOKUP or other things that we will be discussing in the advanced formulas, the display will not able to search, or the formula would not be able to search these words. So if I want to remove the extra spaces that is used by a particular cell in between, after or before a particular word, I have to use the function trim. So is equal to trim bracket start. So it's asking me that which text do you want to trim. So I select this bracket close, press enter. So you can see it removed all the extra spaces that were before, between or after the text, and it gave me a very good display wherein no extra spaces were mentioned. Similarly, I can copy this formula here, paste it here and here. So as you can see, this is doing the trim for L19, this one is doing trim for L20, this one is doing trim from L21. So as you can see that there are no extra spaces before, after or in between. So it removes all the extra spaces by using trim function. Let's move to the last formula or the function. Let's see what we have. Alright, so we have max and min, NIM. So as the name suggests, both the functions max and min help in finding the maximum number or the minimum number in the desired range. Alright, let's see it in action. Alright, so if I want to check what is the maximum number in this range and in this range, I will write is equal to max, start the bracket. Now it's asking me provide the numbers, provide the cell or the range. So I want to check what is the maximum number in these three cells. Close the bracket. So I'm requesting Excel that give me the maximum number from L7 till N7. If I press enter, it gave me an answer that 95 is the maximum number. If I copy this function and paste it here, it took the reference for the next row. See, if I double click on this cell, I can see that the Excel is asking find the maximum from L8 till N8. So the answer comes out to be 98, because out of these three numbers, 98 is the max number, and out of these three numbers, 95 was the maximum number. Now let me do one thing. Let me change the range from here. Let me see. No, sorry. L08. Alright, so I'm requesting Excel to give me the maximum number from L7 till 08. So you can see that it's highlighted here. So let me see what is the answer. If I click on enter, it's saying 253 is the maximum number because this number is the maximum of all. You can see is greater number is the maximum number. Okay. Similarly, if I want to know the minimum number, the smallest number, I will say is equal to min, start the bracket. If I want to know that what is the minimum number in these three cells from L7 to L7, N7, N as in NC, bracket close, enter. So 58 is the minimum number. If I press Ctrl D or copy it here, paste it here, it will go to the next reference and it will show that from L8 till N8, 75 was the minimum number. So we can see that minimum, that is min, or maximum, that is max, can be used to find the lowest or the greatest number in the provided range. Hopefully you liked the video. If you have liked the video, please click the like button, do subscribe, share the video, and let's meet in the next video. Thank you. Take care.